Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another high-level Marvel Rivals ranked cast. Today is the 25th of July at the time of me recording this, and we are heading to Yggdrasil Path for today's game. And also, I'm going to do this at the start of the video because it's been a while since I've done that, just as a quick reminder and also an experiment to see if this makes a difference in any way. If you do enjoy my videos, then please consider liking, commenting, subscribing, ringing that bell, etc. All that wonderful stuff that can help support this channel. You can also support the channel by watching these videos without ad blocker on, hitting the thanks button on my channel, which is basically a donation button, or if you want early access to videos, behind the scenes from LAN that I'm going to attempt to film a little bit. I'm also going to try and film some interviews with some players, and also to get your name shouted out at the end of videos and in the credits of the news videos, then please consider hitting that join button and becoming a member like these wonderful people: Odium, Arso, Doki Poki, and John. Consider becoming a member for your name to get shouted out, and all of those perks that I mentioned above, obviously subject to limited time that I have to make content. Obviously, if I am in another country, I might not be able to get some early videos out. For now, though, let's get this going. Welcome to Yggdrasil Path. We got some very familiar names here. We got Bogur, we got Andrew, Etsu, we have Dridro, Wolver, Vertigo, some insanely cool names here. And also Kabaji, I'm only theory crafting here, but I think might be a secondary account of someone who we may know. I don't want to say because I feel like I might be exposing, but they are, I believe, they've been in multiple games with Andrew and Bogur, just so we know that. And they have some heroes that look at least a little familiar. I might be wrong, so please take with a grain of salt. For now, though, let's introduce our players on the left-hand side. In the blue trunks, it is going to be... oh boy, I'm going to have to actually do this number properly, aren't I? This is 20,051,113 on the lunar snow, I think. We have Bogur 2 playing the Emma Frost. Kabaji will be on the Phoenix. Jett playing Psylocke. whyAndr3w on their favourite Venom. And Etsu is bringing out the Cloak and Dagger. And on the right-hand side, in the red trunks, it is Seele playing on the Emma Frost. Vertigo playing Cloak and Dagger. Wolver will be bringing out the Magneto. Dridro is playing Lunar Snow. Kay is playing Phoenix. And just about to respawn, it will be Prospectt. And they are playing the Winter Soldier. Bogur taking a lot of damage, has the diamond form for that damage resistance to get out of danger as the aggressive push is starting to come in from the red side after they did lose both of their damage dealers to the backline dives of Andrew and Jett. Speaking of Andrew, from above into the backline once again, going for the slow, but swinging out when they realize they might be in a little bit of danger. They actually do have to burn that symbolic resilience, so they actually stay in the fight, knowing that it's being used. They might as well make some value out of it instead of trying to escape. Endsong Inferno coming on in, huge blow up, but not enough for an actual finishing blow. Vertigo with the Eternal Bond is now in the backline. We're seeing a lot of Cloaks and Daggers playing like this, where they'll try and dive the backline as we see the traded out Psionic Seductions. Bogur's trying to push on in. Media M from Wolver does not find a target, and once again the backline from the side of red team have been cleaned out. Another Endsong Inferno coming on in for a big chunk of damage. Not enough for the finishing blow, does not land with the main explosion, but the chain shots are doing huge work here, and it's a cleanup with Jett getting a quintuple KO. Huge cleanup coming in from blue team, who will hold on this corner. Standard place to see a hold. Kabaji taking the line for the moment. See if Kay can create an opening of their own here. Setting out those cosmic flames, looking for the sparks. You get 3 sparks, your opponent explodes. A little bit of extra damage, and you activate a little bit of passive healing over time for each explosion you get. It's not fast, but every little bit helps. Try to go for the jewel. Also use the telekinesis to get out of danger here. The illusion. Andrew pressuring onto the backline. Here comes the Ensign Inferno from K. Not enough for a finishing blow, but Prospectt is able to capitalize with a Kraken impact to wombo the two together and is getting the resets here. There comes that Terror Cape, but it's not enough. Reset comes in, just catches them on the edge, but is there enough damage output? Yes, there is. It keeps going one more time. And Prospectt and K have broken open this point number 1. Portal coming in from Bogur for the reinforcements. Kraken impact going to be coming out, but it's going to be mostly blocked on out. Eternal Bond from Etsu, keeping the team topped up. Vertigo doing the same thing on the other side. So both of these teams are just trying to keep their own teams topped up as best as they can. A side introduction from Seele to hold the line. Fate of both worlds. Kabaji gets blown up here. Wolver with the finishing blow. Meteor M catches Etsu and 2 million and 20 million. Holding the line, Prospectt takes out Bogur, and it looks like they have been able to once again create an opening. One last attempt from Jett, but that's going to be point number 1 picked up by the red team. Kabaji is charged up on an Ensong Inferno, but does not want to get caught out of position as of yet. Staying very mobile, making sure that they don't get caught out of position. Jett has Dance of the Butterfly for a bit of a backline harass. Kabaji looking for a turnaround. Pressure onto the backline. Ensong Inferno with a Dance of the Butterfly to look for any quick turnarounds. K on the other side dropping the same thing, but not enough for a pickup as blue team capitalizing with that Dance of the Butterfly. Ensong Inferno were able to take down 1, looking for more. Andrew dropped low. It's going to be a 2-for-1 so far as Jett did finally fall in that fight. Andrew able to drop a large chunk of damage, but not enough for a finishing blow anymore. But it's keeping them zoned. Keep them fighting here. They're off the point. Get some really good value coming in here. Prospectt looking for an opening. Bogur, side introduction from the top rope. There comes the Mize Aegis for at least some kind of body block. It's a couple pulls, but there's no follow-up as the Eternal Bond from Vertigo has created a huge opening. Etsu is charging deep into the backline, but they're not completely surrounded. Bionic Hook, and Vertigo is taking out Etsu as they are pushing on through. Blue team are once again evaporating here. Bogur unable to survive, which means Prospectt gets the reset here. 4, 3, 2. Scouting anyone around who might have attempted to do anything risky. They decide against it. Just a little bit of poke here and there. Wolver has the Meteor M. Kabaji. Ensong Inferno. And dropping it as the opening tool in this fight, direct hit onto Seele. Wolver is now the solo vanguard in this fight, is already getting dropped low, focus down, surrounded, and absolutely wiped off the board. And it's another retreat out of red team, but they got a lot of distance. Going from just that first corner to almost all the way to second corner. Wolver does have Meteor M. So an opening is available. Jett on the flank, waiting for the Venom to potentially pull the trigger. Go for the combo. Dance of the Butterfly can weaken enemies even if they are sustaining through, to the point where Feast from the Abyss can get a finishing blow even through some strategist ultimates. Not just a snowball. Phoenix up to the high ground. McKay, you need to be very careful. Point blank is exactly where Psylocke's able to do a huge amount of value. Ensong Inferno gonna be coming in. Big chunk of damage. Not enough for the finishing blow, but it will set their team up. Fate of both worlds. Media M. Point blank, but it's gonna be tagged on through. Prospectt takes out Etsu. Takes out 20 million. And they're pushing onto the point. Dance of the Butterfly still being held. Andrew facing the Abyss, but swinging away. Dridro keeping the team topped up. And it looks like red team may attempt to make the play. Jett is still hovering deep into the backline here. Are they going to attempt to go for the one last contestation? Side seduction comes on in. Jett pushing on. They portaled onto the point. Doing damage to K. Down to the Butterfly. Gonna get pulled. They get Etsu. They get K. And is this going to be enough for blue team to clean on up? They get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And that's going to be a solid hold over halfway for blue team as they are, sorry, for red team as they are able to get 1 point and 101 meters. Halfway through point number 2 is where you will get halfway through the map. Now it's the blue team on the attack. What are we going to see here? Looks like so far, sticking with about where we are, but Dridro is going to be starting on the rocket here. And K seems to be considering a swap, looking at the BP here. Black Panther on the board. Etsu starting on a rocket as well, going to be giving their team a little bit of armor. Dridro, you can see BRB yeeted through the doorway. Give the team some armor, give them a jump pack, and then swap to Luna for a fast rollout. Etsu BRB has been placed as well, going to keep the team topped up. Will likely swap over to something else. Kabaji, yet to lock back in. They swapped to Spider-Man for a quick rollout. But I spent most of that last game on Phoenix. Starting on Spider-Man here. There we go. Alright, Phoenix. Kabaji. Okay. Making their way in. Okay. Already caught on the flank by Jett. Who's sticking with this Psylocke. Ooh, absolutely baited in by Jett there, who is on point, just tracking K. Forcing them to back up. Kabaji still landing some shots from above. K in the backline, gets a reset. Looks for another, does not land the javelin, and therefore is just going to have to try and climb out, but will not get it. Goes down to Etsu, who takes them down with the standard dagger autos. Keep the team topped up. Terror Cape. Andrew dropping low. Dagger Storm for big AoE healing. Andrew taken down by Prospectt. Kabaji gets the counter as they're looking for the opening, and it's going to be 20 million who gets the pickup, capitalizing on the Ensong Inferno. And blue team absolutely smashed through this. So quick was that first push. Looking for more here. Bogur already with the Sonic Seduction is wrapping around to see if they can catch anyone out of position. Finds a lot of the reinforcements, keeping them zoned so that car can keep moving forward. Will back away. Andrew. Looking for an opening. K swapped onto the Hawkeye here. Both with the Sonic Seduction. Both of the Cloak and Daggers will be sending in with that Eternal Bond for any kind of setup as they push on onto the point. Sonic Seduction from Seal. Held onto theirs a little bit longer. Going to try and catch anyone out of position. Gets a couple pulls, which might set up for the Meteor of Wolver, which gets back up. But no! Andrew with the feast from the Abyss just got a triple with Etsu and Jett cleaning up the rest. That's a team wipe. Can anyone even make it back in time? They've got 3 people on the car. It's running towards the point. Wolver quickly onto the Strange, but someone's going to make it there in time. Looks like Prospectt's going to attempt to run it. Going for the mobility. They gotta touch that car because Wolver's going for the portal. Will make it there in time for the overtime. Bogur will fall. They're going to give everything they can to this delay. Etsu going to get zoned down onto the point. Big stun onto Wolver to try and stop them from getting the capitalization coming on. Ensong Inferno! Dance of the Butterflies! And it's going to be red team getting eaten up here. The squishies are running through the portal because they're all that's left to hold the line. Dridro and Vertigo fall. The finish line is touched and blue team take the win. 2-1. What a match. Very nice. Etsu takes MVP. Styling. Looking at the statistics here. 28 KOs for Jett. Doing some huge work there. With a tied final hit record of 13 between Jett and Prospectt. A lot of those coming in for the Kraken impacts. Least amount of times getting taken out. Two-way tie between Jett and whyAndr3w. Both only going down 3 times. Half of any of the opposing team. Top damage output, 29k for Kabaji. 10k more than literally anyone else in the game. Very nice. Top damage blocked, 36k. Very close. Bogur was right behind them, but it's going to be Wolver, who we just know how insanely good they can be on these Vanguards thanks to Ignite. They get the 36k damage blocked here. Top healing, 44,000 for Vertigo. But Etsu only going to take it down 5 times, getting 19 KOs here, 5 of which were final hits, really contributing to these fights. Kept up very nicely in the healing, getting the second highest in the game. They just did a really solid job, a well-deserved MVP here. But with that, that's the end of today's video. Thank you all very much for watching. I need to record one more because I'm out Saturday into Sunday. So hang on, I've got today's video is already done. Today's Thursday. Tomorrow's video, no, today's Friday. Then tomorrow's video is this one. So that'll be Saturday. So yeah, I need one more for Sunday, and then the day after is news. So, yep, perfect. Alright, so I need to go record one more. Thank you all very much for watching. I have been Tetcher, and I will see you all tomorrow.